Hello everyone, welcome to Truth and Law. My name is Conrad Rogas, and this video will be about the Elm Fork John Brown Gun Club, where I'll be talking about Elon Musk and how his takeover of Twitter allegedly has brought free speech back. Allegedly he's rallying for free speech and unbanning all these accounts. But I'm going to expose some hypocrisy because a group recently got banned. I'll be talking about why they got banned, who this group is, and I won't be the first person to point out this hypocrisy. It's been pointed out, there have been articles written about it, but I will be the first person, as far as I know, to my knowledge, where I'm going to expose the deeper level chess game that's going on here, specifically with between liberal and conservative, why these guys get unbanned, why certain accounts get banned, and what's the bigger picture here. So we're going to go deep. We're gonna go be controversial again. It seems to be a running theme now, but I'm going to talk about what's going on because I see the narratives playing out, and I see a lot of people that are talking. But again, I'm gonna bring it back to what really matters and offer this unique perspective. So, where do we begin? Who is the Elm Fork John Brown Gun Club? The John Brown Gun Club, by the way, it's a handful, right? It's a mouthful. But Elm Fork is, I believe, the location, right? This is a group based in Texas. It's a gun club. It's based on John Brown, the abolitionist, right? So this is a group that is taking on the values of abolitionist values of being against slavery, abolishing of slavery. So that's also what I stand for. I talk about modern day slavery, as we know. So this group made a tweet, two tweets. Then they were banned for hateful speech, right? But they were not inciting violence. They were not doing anything like that. As we know, Elon Musk said that accounts will get banned if they incite violence. But this is not what happened here, because this group is actually pro LGBT, right? It is an LGBT plus, a group that encourages gays and transgenders to arm themselves instead of expecting the state to protect them, right? So a very unique group, right? You cannot box these guys in because yes, they're pro gay, but at the same time they're pro Second Amendment. So this is you can't really box them in so neatly. They don't fit a box, a neat mold, and neither do I. So when I heard about their story, I was intrigued, right? And what happened? While all these other accounts are getting unbanned, and these are mostly the conservative. They used to be alt-right. Now they're called far-right. A lot of accounts are getting unbanned that, in my view, should not have been banned in the first place, because I'm a free speech absolutist like Elon Musk claims to be, right? But they got banned because when you see there's videos of police out there crushing riots, all this stuff, they expose it. They talk about how the cops are mass murderers in waiting. That was one of the tweets that allegedly was the one that got them banned, right? And another one where they appeal for every queer or rifle them. That was the quote. So they're appealing to people who are gay to arm themselves, right? And this is one of the things that got them banned. And now Elon Musk is supposed to be this warrior for free speech, right? But then when it comes to this group, he bans them. I talk about how they don't fit a neat mold, right? Because they are pro-gun but anti-police. And when I look at all these accounts that are getting unbanned, none of them are really talking about being anti-police. And there seems to have been this split, right? This split where the right wing has all these things correct, like minimum government control, right? Free speech, being able to wear what you want, to say what you want. They got that right. Being anti-globalist, that's correct. But what seems to have been the new right wing that is emerging is everybody loves the flag, They love the church and they love the police and military. They support it, and they love their highly enforced borders, right? But on the other hand, you got the left wing, which has been demonized lately, of course, because you have the globalism. Um, you have tyranny clothed in environmentalism, right? Uh, uh, Helping out different groups, the being empathetic to helping out people in the form of, we're talking about like handouts, welfare, all this idealist stuff, which in reality, excuse me, is really authoritarian, right? Taking away from one person to give to another, right? To the high taxes, and this is what the left wing has. But what the left wing now has right is wear what you like, dress what you like, free sexual association, right? So this is just your liberal, classical liberal values, yeah? And now there's this divide where the right wing has been demonized lately. When the pandemic happened, anybody who just didn't want to wear a mask, right? They were looked at as extremists now. Now it's going around. Trump is no longer president. And now it's coming back around where obviously these conservative accounts, these right wing accounts that were just talking about stuff that, hey, maybe we shouldn't be having forced injections, maybe we shouldn't be forced to do this and be totally locked down. Clearly they were correct, but the narrative was against them. And now the narrative is coming back around a little bit, and Elon Musk is now coming back like this savior. But now the left wing groups like the Elm Fork John Brown Gun Club, that just basically is responding to this new aggressive right wing, which is going to protest the drag queen story times, right? They're going to protest the gay pride parades. They are now seeing the authoritarianism swing around to the other side, and they're standing up. And when there's the shooting, the nightclub shootings, and now the different crimes against gay people, the killings, they're standing up and just arming the people that they identify with, right? And now they get banned, and nobody's gonna stand up for their voice because now they get the short end of the straw, when we really need to be standing up for their voice. And I wanted to reach out to the Elm Fork John Brown Gun Club, right? The so-called gays with guns, because I noticed it in real time. Hey, these guys are the ones who are going to get their free speech taken now, you know? And and I got a reply, and one thing that they said is that it seems to me that a lack of history is at the forefront of misunderstanding leftism, right? So they responded to this without me even asking. It talked about how I told them that I've been mainly aligned with these right wing values just because I stand up for freedom. So that means, you know, I want freedom of association. I want no taxes. I want nobody telling me what to do. And what is the only naturally correct, aligned with nature, free market. The only economic system that's aligned with nature is ultimate free market. No centralized control, ultimate free market, ultimate free trade. And when I look on the Elm Fork John Brown Gun Club's website, I'm seeing that they're anti-capitalist, mainly meaning that they want to fight the wealth inequality, which I'm against wealth inequality too. It's just that I don't believe in taking in robbing from anybody or taking from anybody to redistribute the wealth. No redistribution of wealth, because that leads that's your communism and socialism, and that in itself is going to create an elite group which is going to be in control of all the wealth ultimately. But still, how, like they said, misunderstanding of leftism, right? So I read that, I read they're anti-capitalist, and red flags go off. I'm like, oh, a little communist militia, right? But let's, by their fruits you shall know them. So let's look at what the Elm Fork John Brown Gun Club does, right? They provide armed security at LGBT events, only those that are going to face armed protesters, right? So even if it is a drag queen story time, right? Even if it is reading storybooks to children, which is, that's a serious thing. But you've got people now that are going to come with their American flags and with their religious dogma, right? And harass these people. And don't tell me there's no right-wing harassment of gay people and racial minorities. This is just facts. Like, this goes on. I hear it. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna come with their guns and they're gonna make sure that nobody gets their rights taken away and nobody gets violence done to them. So that, if that means I'm aligned with the LGBT community in that sense, I'm definitely aligned with the for John Brown Gun Club when it comes to that. And what else do? They assist people, right? Gay people, transgender people, people in their community. Like, for example, black women, trans women, right? People who otherwise would not go get a Ford card and get a gun. They help them obtain a gun, obtain the gun license, and they train them to use the gun. Who's really out here doing that? I'm all about it. You know what these like these accounts that get unbanned, a lot of the people that support them, what these groups are doing, the right-wing so-called pro-freedom groups, they're just talking and they're voting. Talking and voting. And what voting is inaction. And you see the Elm Fork John Brown Gun Club, they practice action, right? They're actually going to help these people get a gun, and they tell them, go to their website like I did. And I saw the close to socialist rhetoric, but I also saw them say, we believe in the people's self-responsibility and not relying on the state to provide security. And that trumps everything to me. So I can overlook their socialist leanings. I'm going to make sure that we teach our people to obtain a gun and defend themselves. That's what we need to do. And what else do they do? I talked about action, right? What kind of action they do? They provide food and medical care. Actually out here feeding and helping people, So, nobody loves freedom more than me, right? But somewhere that empathy goes off. The empathy goes off within me, and I'm like, these people got a point. We gotta listen, Even though they have the socialist slant, which means what? Even I, when I was coming into the occult knowledge, into the knowledge of natural law, right? You hear the socialist ideology, and that idealism goes off within you. I think all of us have fallen into that at some point in our lives, right? We hear about, oh, this is unfair that these people have all this wealth and these people have none of it. So we resonate with that idea, And in the end, we got to agree on the big picture principles. And the biggest principle that I got to make sure I agree with somebody on is that we got to get armed and protect ourselves and look out for people, And let me talk about this. I may not agree with every word of somebody's political ideology, right? Their philosophy. But what we got to think about is the spirit of what they do, and the spirit of action, which is conscience, that these people have. They're light years closer to the truth, these people, than some of the conservatives who claim to be for freedom, right? The gays with guns are actually way closer than these people that talk about land of the free, home of the brave, living free, and all that, right? Because now you're hearing way more about America first. And like Kanye talks about, we got to stand with Jesus first, America first. And I don't think people know it, but this is like from 20 years ago, the conservative red America rhetoric. And it's going there again. So, because they got their account suspended, I have to now amplify my voice and stand up for women, children, and the LGBT community, because I see it swinging the other way now. And these people, which stand for freedom, like I stand for freedom. I actually stand for freedom. That's why I'm out here making these videos. I see it swinging the other way. People are just going to try to lecture everybody, and they're quick to talk about the gay agenda, the globalist gender agenda, when they don't really know enough about the occult. Like, I know that agenda exists, right? But now, what does that mean? That means you're going to tell all these people that already feel this way, you're not going to change them now. There are people that are trans, and that's it. There are people who are gay, and that's it. And what, you want to lecture them because that 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 mind virus is within them already? No, you gotta hit them with empathy first. You gotta understand them now. Now, we didn't do our part to prevent the programming from happening to them, and even further than that, what we didn't do is raise our children the right way for them to actually look up to a relationship between a man and a woman and see that as something true and healthy and desirable. The older generation did that. These people's parents did that, and now you wanna lecture them, and you want them to fit this mold because now everybody's such a devout Christian now. When all this alcoholism and addiction is running wild, I see the hypocrisy. This is what made me wake up to the truth in the first place. And just because I see the pandemic happen, everybody became so pro freedom now. And now you guys are getting polarized in the other direction, and you're going to side with authoritarianism. No, you got to oppose the system of police, right? You got to oppose the coming police state, and don't get tricked into the religious dogma, because this is just the same story over again. We don't know the whole chess game going on, right? So, and let me take it back to Elon unbanning all these accounts. Did he unban everybody? No, he still won't unban Alex Jones, right? Now, it seems like Alex is gonna be the polar 180-degree opposite of the Elm Fork John Brown Gun Club, right? That I'm defending, but I also want Alex to get his account back, and he's not gonna get it back. And Elon gave the reason that he gave. Okay, fine, but David Icke didn't get his account back either, right? So the people that don't fit the mold, they're still not gonna get it back. The only people getting their accounts back is part of a very narrow mold, like a box, a mold of these people that shouldn't have been banned in the first place, but unbanning them actually hurts the truth community in the long run, right? Because what this is going to ultimately do is get people reinvigorated in the voting political process, getting people repolarized. And the people that are so far to the other side are not going to get their accounts back, and now people on this side are going to get banned too. And this is going to swing the people on the left side that are closer on the left side. That's going to swing them away over here on the fringe. And then in a couple years, the other people are going to start getting banned, and these people are going to get their accounts back now. And what this does, they're always ahead of the chains, right? The system, this occultocracy is always ahead, and getting people to lose belief in the system and then get their belief back. And we're always a step behind, right? We got to be above this game. We got to know what's going on, you know? Give me a second. So, here's a quote from David Icke. I mentioned David Icke. David Icke is banned because of anti-Semitism and alleged conspiracy theories about the COVID-19 pandemic, right? He was one of the people talking about 5G and all this other stuff. Should not have been getting banned for this, but this alleged racist, alleged anti-Semite, this is a quote from his book from 1997, I believe, called I Am Me, I Am Free. That's the title of the book, right? So here we go. Prejudice is the vital word here. People are conditioned to be prejudiced against other members and groups within each culture and society, and these different forms of prejudice are used to divide and rule the herd. The prejudice may be racial, religious, or political, or based on background, income, job, or lifestyle. Either way, you have different aspects of society conditioned to instinctively ridicule, oppose, and condemn the views and life experiences of each other. And prejudice is rarely only one way. Those who see themselves as victims of prejudice are often so prejudiced themselves against other people, lifestyles, and groups. This allows the manipulation of the mass consciousness to flourish. And yet, if we stopped seeking to impose our version of right and wrong, good and bad, moral and immoral upon each other, we would remove the means for such global manipulation. We need to let go of all prejudice now. That's a quote from David Icke. That's your alleged racist and anti-Semite talking about how prejudice is the rule of all problems. And I'd like that to be a little bit of a foreshadowing, a preview of a presentation I intend to make about empathy, where I want to talk about parenting. I want to talk about the treatment of women. When I just did a presentation about the attack on manhood and talking a bit about the softening of the man, kind of talking more about the gender mixing, gender confusion narrative, right? But now I see this happening, so I figured, well, let me defend the other half now because I see it swinging to the other side. And we're just all too happy to oppress another group just to not be the one oppressed. This is a mental virus, right? This is mental programming. We got to get out of this. And Elon is not coming to save us. Elon's not going to fix it. I'm also not saying that he is like this puppet master that's doing it on purpose and he's double crossing the freedom movement. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying he's not a pawn in the chess game, but he's not the king, right? Everybody plays this game. Everybody who's pulling some strings, they're having their strings pulled. This is how the hierarchy of slavery works. That's why it's a pyramid, right? Everybody has somebody above and somebody below them. And Elon Musk has a lot of people below them, but he's not at the top of the pyramid. But we got to be outside of the pyramid. We can't have our strings pulled so easily. Okay? So I just wanted to make that video real quick. I didn't take a lot of notes for it. It's a bit of a stream of consciousness, but I'm going to speak from the heart here. And I know it's controversial. And I just made a video about Kyrie Irving and his alleged anti-Semitism. So I talked about the ADL. I talk about Jews. I talk about the attack on masculinity. But I feel like this is the most controversial presentation I have. Actually defending gay people. How about that? From somebody who is aligned with some right-wing views, you know? So it is what it is. We got to speak up. We got to have the courage to be real. So I'll be coming at you soon. Thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing the video.